Welcome back everybody. In today's video, I'll show you how to beat the boss Basher and Blazer, part of the Harley Quinn side quest. Now this boss is very difficult because it's a 3-phase event. The first time you're fighting Basher, second phase you're fighting Blazer, and the third phase you're fighting both of them as well as you're disarming bombs at the same time. So first, let's focus on the first round. So Basher is one of the typical shield enemies, but he'll have a different attack where he charges and slams his shields on the ground. And that will do a significant amount of damage if you fall for it. Now, I chose Batgirl for this mission because obviously she's a tank, she has revives, and I'm playing on hard solo, so it's a very challenging experience. So my strategy with this fight was just to keep the pressure on the main boss Basher and completely ignore the other enemies and just dodge appropriately. Now I did a mistake here by trying to use my elemental attack on his shield, bad idea. And also keep in mind that you want to use the least amount of potions as possible, because you'll be able to restart straight from phase 2 or from phase 3, but only with the amount of potions that you have. So if you use all your potions in phase 1, you're pretty much screwed. Now the drone is a really good thing to kind of do some damage and distract the enemies while it also heals you. So if you have that unlocked, you can use it. I don't know how this fight will go with other characters, but especially if you're doing on hard and solo, Batgirl is definitely the way to go. So here you're gonna see in just a second that one of the main minions, he's going to spray Basher and it's going to heal him a little bit. If you let him spray completely, he will heal him by a lot. So there's two ways on how you can approach this situation. Either you can focus on him right off the bat, or you can focus on Basher but keep an eye on him. As soon as he starts shaking his spray can, you need to interrupt him with a heavy attack, or else he's going to heal Basher by a lot. Now here I died, but luckily that's why there's the second win, and even if you die again in phase 2, your second win will be recharged, so you don't have to worry about using one. Now the potions on the other hand, be careful with those. So just continue the fight. This is a long game of patience. So you need to be very careful, very patient. Make sure that you have at least 30 minutes in front of you, because the fight will take a long time, especially considering it's a 3-phase fight.
Try again.
So yeah, it's not 100% necessary to kill the healer, because as you guys saw, there's another one that just respawns shortly after. It's more important to focus on Basher and just drop down his health than working on any of the minions.
Let's do this.
So once you're done with Basher, then you'll have a short cutscene, and then Harley Quinn will summon his replacement, which is Blazer. And although he's easier to damage because he doesn't have the shield, he does a lot more damage, and you have to be way more careful with his attacks. So this is how it goes. So Blazer has a fire chain and will also throw Molotovs at you. So all his attacks do a tremendous amount of damage. You need to wait for him to finish his combo before you move in, or else he's gonna just go right through you. Now, one of the attacks you have to watch out the most is his grab attack. He's about to do it right here, and I wasn't able to dodge it, he'll hit you, grab you by the neck, throw you against the wall. It does a huge amount of damage. When he does a wide sweep like that, you can dodge it once, and sometimes he'll follow it up with another attack. So that being said, at least there's not a healer in this part of the fight, and if you use the drone, you should be able to heal yourself, do some damage, and you'll be fine. Although you do have to watch out, this one does a lot more damage than the first boss, but it should be manageable enough. The tough part is actually the third phase, believe it or not.
Let's go. No more playing around.
So once you take him down to almost no health, you'll be moving on to the third phase of the fight, which is definitely the hardest. So after a short cutscene, you'll be thrown down in a pit where there are 6 bombs, and your objective is to disarm the bombs while fighting both bosses and minions at once. Yeah, I know. So the first round is kind of a good opportunity to build up your momentum. So just hit the minions and try to charge your 2 bars of momentums. That way you'll be ready for when the fight actually starts. While you're charging your momentum, about every 30 seconds or so, one of the bomb will activate. And then you will have 30 seconds to run up to the machine and to turn it off.
Not the best day for us, freak. You're dead, hero.
So once you dispatch the 4 minions, the bosses, 1 minion and 1 healer will enter the arena. And from now on, instead of disarming 1 bomb, you're going to be disarming 2 bombs. Now, what I recommend in this case is focus on the healer right away. If you're able to take him down, he's definitely not respawning. So you deal with him. I had this ice ability that was working really well because my weapons were imbued with ice, so I also recommend that for this fight. Range attack, not so much. It doesn't do as much as the melee attack for Batgirl. So anyways, that being said, make sure that you're disarming the bombs and be aware when you're disarming them. If the enemies are close, you might want to create some distance by going to the other bomb first, because if not, as you're disarming it, you're gonna get attacked and you're gonna take some damage. Now, once you're done with the healer, the fight becomes a little bit more manageable. You're going to want to deal with Blazer first, because the reason why is that Blazer does a lot more damage, so he's a bigger threat. You need to get rid of him first. And second, the other guy has a shield. He's harder to damage. So disarm the bombs, and see what I did there. I brought them to the other bomb because they were too close to the first one, and then it gives you an opportunity to disarm both of them. Now just repeat stage 2, deal with Blazer, take him down to no health, and then you'll be able to move on to the final stage of the fight.
Incoming. girl. Gotcha.
Try to make sure you go into the final step of the fight with at least one potion and ideally a revive, because although the first boss's attack are pretty easy to telegraph and to avoid, everybody makes mistakes, right? And you really don't want to have to redo everything. So now you're going to be finishing up Blazer, and once he's dealt with, things will get a little bit more complicated, because instead of disarming 2 bombs, you're going to have to disarm 3 bombs in the time frame. So that will make it a little bit harder, but luckily there's only 1 boss left, so you should be able to manage this pretty easily at this point. Now, ice damage is a really good way to deal a whole lot of damage to these guys, because they'll freeze up and then when you break them, they'll explode. But yeah, pretty simple stuff towards the end, although you might be stressed out if you are like me from having to fight this super long fight. Now, I don't know how easy it is on easy or medium, but I can tell you for a fact that on hard it is difficult. And I mean, I've beat Elden Ring and all the Souls-like solo without any help, but this was significantly hard. Like, this was pretty hard. And I went there at level 14, which is not under leveled. This mission is recommended for anywhere between level 10 and 13. So I thought I was pretty well equipped for this fight. I'll show you my loadout towards the end. And but yeah, besides that, pretty simple stuff. Just disarm the bombs, repeat, and at this point it's about being very patient to not do any silly mistakes and try to hit him more than you can, because once you hit him a certain amount of times, he's just gonna block and counter you, and then if he hits you with that slam, that's gonna do a lot of damage. So once you finally take him out, what's going to happen is that 4 bombs are going to activate, Now you're gonna have just 30 seconds to deactivate 4 bombs. That being said, there's more than enough time, so you just do that and you are finally done with this mission and this boss fight. I'm not lying, when I was done with this fight, I was really happy I wouldn't have to do it again because it was hard. Maybe I should have waited till I was like level 16, 17, but hey, they said 10 to 13, so I didn't think it would be this hard. But anyways, here's my guide for the boss fight. Let's take a look at my gear before we get going. So yeah, as you can see, I had pretty decent items, level 11, 12, 13. I actually started the mission at level 13, but I leveled up to 14. So you're gonna need this kind of gear, or at least this kind of gear, if you want to beat this mission on hard solo. So that being said, thanks for watching everybody. I hope this tutorial will help someone. And if it does, please like the video and please subscribe if you enjoy the content. Soon we're going to be covering God of War. Really excited for that game to come out. But until then, we'll see you on the next video.